Welcome back everyone to a little vlog video today. I'm going to walk around this beautiful lake park here. Look, today you can't see much because I've got the camera on blurry background mode, but we'll turn the camera around at some point and we'll give everybody a bit of a view of what's going on here. So we're here today to talk about a couple of things. Thanks to another auditor, we've decided to get this video out a lot sooner than we planned to. A lot of you may have seen it already. I've got a lot of messages about it, a lot of comments about it. Yeah, Mr. AY Audit. Many of you would have only seen my video at the Tommy March, where he sort of called me out, or tried to call me out, and I then doxed him. Or I didn't dox him, I just said you live above so and so shop, and he could barely hear me anyway, but I could have done worse than that. I didn't do any more than that, but the point being is, a lot of people are wondering why I did that. Oh, that's pretty cool, look at that. It's a bit blurry in the camera though, isn't it? Yeah, quite a few people are going to be wondering, I guess, why I did that. Or what the beef is, if there's any beef, what he was talking about. What I can say is that this guy has been, what do you call it, slandering me. I guess it's a form of bullying. Basically talking absolute whatever about me online wherever he can, to live stream audience, whether he's live at a hotel. He said comments. He goes on live panels sometimes and he'll chat rubbish on there about me. Everywhere basically, not to mention in person. Now, people might ask why he's doing that. It's a good question, why. I'll try my best to answer it for you. But a lot of the information, or most of the information he is coming out with, is not true. Factually not true. Therefore, it is slander, defamation, whatever. I'm kind of that kind of person. I just let things go. If they don't affect my life, I don't really get involved. He doesn't affect my life. He hasn't affected my channel. Who cares, right? But many times he has incited a crowd to hurt me based on very bad things he's saying, which those things are not true. Not true. And by saying those things, and by using a certain word, which even people in his own live streams have said you can't use that word because it's not true, by using that word, he is in fact inciting violence. And if a person in the crowd at that rally or a different protest were to hurt me based on what he said, he would be in a lot of trouble. You would be in a lot of trouble, Mr. Tony. And you know it, so the question here is, why is this guy doing it, right? Why? I don't know fully why. Oh, got a nice lake there, look at that. I don't know fully why. I'm not inside his head, I don't know for sure. But usually people who do what he's doing, who go out of their way to like slag another person off, right? Usually they're self-projecting, and they're worried, subconsciously or consciously, that they're gonna be exposed themselves. And we all know the trolls in this game are you know, some of them are quite brutal. They spend a lot of their life hunting us down and finding out stuff about us and putting it out there, right? That's literally what they do all day. They're really sad. So he's gone from a very small amount of subs to, you know, he's broken the 100k, and he's done that very quickly. And his ego and his sort of jealousy is probably quite high at the moment. And I've read convos to other people that I talked to from him that he said, oh, DJE Media's views are fake, or no, his subs are fake. He's paid for them because he should have higher views on his videos than he does back when I was doing auditing and drone stuff, you know. So that tells me already at that point that he's looking at my numbers, and for some reason he's interested in them, and he's slagging them off, trying to find a reason why they're fake. You know, for me, that kind of person is a jealous person. That's the only answer I've got for that. But so you ask yourself, what could he possibly be exposed for? Now, I was going to make this video regardless, but when I found out what he's done, it makes it all the more like hypocritical, because this man, Mr. Tony, he is coming across like he's this female protector, like he's a guy that is doing the right thing, and he's exposing a wrong 'un who's done things to females or women. Predominantly that's what he's going on about here. And he's acting like sort of moral high ground, like I'm a good guy, I'm just going to expose this auditor to help people, right? Now, I might put the article on this video, but if I don't put it on the screen, although I think I will, but if I don't, if you Google his full name and you put the word manhunt after his full name, so Anthony, the second name, and then manhunt, you'll find an article where the police say they were looking for information on his whereabouts, a manhunt, as he threatened to kill 2 females, right? So death threats to females. Now, whether or not he was convicted of that or charged is a different matter. However, that article is out there. You can't deny the photo. I'm going to put the 2 photos of him now, a few photos of him now, and the photo in the article. Obviously the same guy. Now, we've all got a past. Some of us have got a worse past than others, right? He's clearly got a past. And clearly, let me just see if that's in focus. Clearly, whether he was charged or convicted or not, for the police to issue a manhunt over that tells me that something definitely happened. A report was made by 2 females, not only 1, 2. And whether or not there was evidence to convict him, you know, he was under investigation at that time. They had enough evidence to arrest and interview him for it. And for that kind of thing, it must be fairly serious to issue a public manhunt, you know? Like, they don't do that for everything. Otherwise, there'd be loads of media stories like that, and there isn't, right? So that kind of brings me to be thinking, like, why is a guy who's clearly got a past like that, why is he picking on me and trying to expose me when he's got a past like that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. If I was in his shoes, I'd be keeping my mouth shut, and I wouldn't be doing that. In fact, I'd be trying to make as many friends as possible in the game, so that when the shit came out, at least you've got people around you to go, do you know what? He's been a good guy to me. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Everyone's got a past. But the way he's going about it, it's just making himself look really bad, really. So yeah, that's his past. That's one thing he's got done for. There are other things. If you look at enough on there, you can find a few more things. And so we're going to turn the camera around now. My arm was aching a little bit. We'll turn it back again shortly. Give people a little bit of a view to look at, right? We'll go and walk around by the lake a little bit as well. Is it better wide? Yeah, we'll go wide. So yeah, basically this guy has done that, and for a very long time now he's been doing this to me online. People close to me will know, but a lot of people won't know that. And I decided to arm myself with information about him, so that, you know, he was making threats like, when I see him, I'm going to confront him on my live stream, I'm going to incite a crowd to hurt him based on what he says, blah, 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 right? So obviously I'm a smart guy. I thought to myself, right, well, it's going to happen one day. I'll see him, and I want to have information on him so that I can counter it. And when he starts to slander me, I can say a few things back to him that will have an impact, right? So I found out all locations, and I found out all the information I needed to. Partly because if I ever need to ring the police on what he's doing, it's always good to have information, right? So, lo and behold, in London, he sees me, he decides to try his game, and I came out with a few things. People say I'm bad for doing that. They don't know what he's been doing for like 2 or 3 months now, maybe a bit longer. So, there we go. I could have said more. I didn't. Anyway, so that's the sort of explanation on that. Now, a lot of this information is just silly information that is in Daily Mail articles and The Sun. That's literally the two outlets who have put this dodgy info out there. And it all stemmed from the Nicola Bulley investigation. Oh, look at the view, man. That's nice. It all stemmed from back when I started my channel with the Nicola Bulley case, and I made a few mistakes back then. Nothing major, but, you know, put a few videos out. I was early in the game. I've for sure learnt my lesson now, but hey-ho, at the time, it was a bad thing, and media jumped on it as they did. Police jumped on it to try and cover up their complete shambles of an investigation. A lot of people will agree with that. A lot of people know that. I did try and expose the truth up there. That's all I was trying to do. There was good intention behind it, but either way, a lot of the articles come from that, and they've added their own spin on it. But it is only Daily Mail, The Sun, that have done these articles, and then other outlets have basically copy and pasted it. So those two are what started it. And this Tony, Mr. AY, he is using basically information in there, and also another very interesting twist. So the other interesting twist is that there was a female that I was meeting up with. You could call it dating. It was a bit on and off. I was a bit suspicious whether she was actually a troll the whole time we were dating. There were many different red flags, and many people close to me, other people who are YouTubers, told me and said, look, you need to be careful, because that person, to me, just seems to be trying to find out information about you rather than actually getting to know you. But you know how it is when you're emotionally involved with a person in that way. You kind of don't always see. Well, you just don't see things, you know. For example, this is a good example. When I moved to where I am now, nobody knew where I lived. Not one person apart from myself and obviously the people who in the building, you know. And I sent her a video of a fire. There was a fire in the building, and I sent her a video of that. And I cropped it so that you couldn't see anything else on the building other than the balcony and the fire, right? And her being her, she's quite a little detective herself. She figured out which building it was, but she didn't tell me that she figured it out. She kept it to herself until like 3 weeks later. And lo and behold, the same day, or I think the next day, that we actually finished talking for good and we called it a day, the troll groups posted the address, the building. They didn't post the address, sorry, they posted the building. And they posted the social media photos on the building social media page, which had the side of my head and my tattoo in the background, that you would only know if you were looking on there to find me. You wouldn't see me otherwise, but if you know the tattoo and you know the side view, you'll know, but you know, you had to proper look for it basically. And she'd already done that. So the troll groups posted that, so I knew it came from her. So that's the kind of girl we were seeing, is somebody that as soon as you break up, they're basically gonna throw your secrets out there. And thank God I didn't tell her anything else, because that would obviously be public domain as well. You know, I didn't tell her a lot because I never did trust her in that way. Now, why am I mentioning her? Well, she did say when we finished talking on the phone, watch what happens now, watch what happens. And we always spoke about it, that if we finished talking, neither one of us would cause shit for the other person. We'd just go our separate ways. So I knew what she meant by that. And now, every time he goes live, or a lot of the times, she's in the chat putting in like snippets of information, little slanderous remarks. Some of them true, some of them not true, but she'll put it in there. Bam, 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 he's done that, he did that, he did that. Yes, it's true, blah, 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 right? So I know that she jumped on him. I don't mean literally, but she jumped on that bandwagon straight after. Whether or not she kind of knew he was out to get me in that way and she wanted to use his platform, maybe. They used each other perhaps, but either way, information then came from her to him. And of course, when you've got a female that's dated the guy telling you stuff, as a man, you are going to probably believe it more than just anyone else, right? You're going to think, oh, well, it's a female and they dated, it must be true. But we all know exes and stuff. We all know what, you know, we all know. I don't need to go into that. We get it. I think everyone watching will get that. They lie, they say shit, they twist things. It's what they do, you know. So that's where a lot of his slanderous little remarks have came from. Will be her. She's taken revenge. She did say to me she's taken revenge on other people in the past and she will not ever let it go. She's that kind of person. It's expected, I guess, when you meet these people and you make mistakes. I don't really want to touch on her any more than that, because even though she has been involved with comments on live streams and stuff, I can't say for sure that she's still doing that right now. I haven't seen it for a while, but I haven't looked. I try and distance myself a lot from these things. Like the troll accounts, I literally never go on there unless somebody links me to a really important one. I just can't be arsed with seeing it. It's like, it's just ridiculous. But if you read it enough, it can affect you. So I just don't read it. Now, this person, this female, did actually lie to me about something that happened to her. Think of the most worst thing a girl could go through with a man, or from a man, from another person, right? That, the R word, ex-husband did it. And, you know, if you hear that, you're going to obviously be traumatized yourself. And it was difficult to hear that. And I tried to be there for her. And the reason we stopped talking, and you'll see why it's important that I mention this in a minute, but the reason we stopped talking is because I found out that she'd been having him back around the house for the kids. But she always promised me, no, he's not coming back round after he did that. So to find out the guy's coming back round, behind your back, you haven't been told about it, and after he did that, it wasn't that long after, a couple of months maybe, for me that's quite a big deal, you know. And we weren't like officially boyfriend girlfriend, but we were sort of exclusive, we were dating. So for me, that's the kind of thing that it's a bit messed up, that, you know. And I say she lied about it. When we had our final phone call and I sort of said I'm done, he was there. He came on the phone to me and said, "Oh, you two are only friends. What's the problem?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're only friends, Howie. Okay, cool, mate." And I asked him, and he was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." But I can't say for sure it was a lie. But I think if a female went through that, or a man, I don't think you'd have the person back around the house. I just, if you do, you're crazy. I just can't see it happening. But either way, it's a bit of a messed up story, that, and that's the person now behind all the slander who's feeding people like AY Audits. So that's where it came from. So turn the camera around again, I'm getting a bit of a arm ache. So let's move on to, I touched on her because it's important for people to understand that if somebody like that is out to get you, an ex, and they're the kind of person that lies about stuff and they're quite manipulative, then you could maybe half understand why people are spreading shit, because it's more easier to believe it when there's a female doing it, right? And I've got evidence. I have all the chat logs on WhatsApp proving that everything I've said about that happening. Anyway, so Mr. AY Audits on his live stream today, let's touch on that. It's quite important. It's the reason I'm doing this so early now, so quick. He did a live stream, and one of the first things that he said on it is, "I'm a pussy," right? That's what he said. and he said, "Oh, I didn't do anything in London, and I was hiding behind a police wall, etc." So let me address some of these accusations for people, which, sorry Mr. AY, but you've really made yourself look really stupid. You've made it quite easy to make you look stupid now. You really should just keep your mouth shut and focus on your own channel, stay in your own lane and be successful, and leave other people to do their thing, whether you like them or not, or whether you think they've got a past or not. So he said I did that. Now, I went to the rally with the intention of actually not filming the stage or the main event, not because I don't support what Tom is doing there or anything like that, but the last few times I've been there have been amazing at the front with the press pass and the little pen, but you're kind of there all day, and a lot of people struggled with their signal for live streams, and I just didn't want to be in the situation where I was there but I couldn't really film a lot of stuff I wanted to film. So I thought, what I'll do, I'm going to film the lefties today. We all know there's going to be far less lefties, so therefore more space to move around. And I wanted to actually highlight them behaving badly. So I thought, if I go in their side for a bit, chances are we're going to see something, you know, they're going to kick off, they're going to behave badly, and I'll film it. So that's why I was in the left side, not because I'm a fucking lefty, nothing like that. Obviously I'm not. People that watch my content call me far right, for God's sake. Like, obviously I'm not left, but I wanted to film their drama. I wanted to show them up. But at the same time, I also wanted to get some interviews with them. Again, to expose them, but let them talk, let them put their voice across and hear what they've got to say. You know, who knows, there might be a few decent ones there who actually don't completely agree with what the lefties are doing or promoting that day. And we found a few, I think we found a few. So, job well done. A lot of people saying, oh, I had a press pass revoked. I never had a press pass for that event. I didn't apply for one, I didn't ask for one, I didn't need one. I didn't plan to go into the press only area. Now, it just so happens that I did actually go into the press sterile area in between the two areas. There was the right on by Trafalgar Square, and there was the left in Whitehall, right? And me and Tay were in the middle. Thank you to the Metropolitan Police who let me go in there. I promised I would stay in there and not kick off and just film, and that's what I did. And fair play for them letting me do that. But I didn't have a press pass. I didn't have anyone revoked. Ridiculous. More slander to try and get me hated online. And oh look, we've got a tree of life. We've got a tree of life. Just like the Barking Recreational Ground one that AY Audits films every morning, or whatever he does, right? Now, let's move on to well, he's saying I was a pussy. I couldn't get to him. The police would not have let me go through to him, even if I would have really wanted to. They wouldn't have let me. And they wouldn't have let him come through to me. So when he's saying I'm a pussy, I couldn't get out of there anyway. Like, not that I would want to have gone and spoken to him. I've got nothing to say to the guy. I'm not the guy trying to belittle and trying to slander other people for my own clout, as he uses that word a lot. I focus on my content. I don't need to slag off anybody to get my views, to get my content to do well. The viewers do not come to see that. The viewers do not come to see him slagging me off. A lot of his viewers may not even like me, but they don't subscribe and watch his content to hear that the whole time. It's ridiculous. And I've got a lot of people messaging me saying they've unsubscribed from him because they don't really know whether what he's saying is true or not, but they said, we don't care if it's true or not. Like, why bang on about somebody that much? It's just ridiculous. And I agree. So, yeah, not a pussy, not scared of him at all. And Mr. AY, you're a silly man for thinking that. We're going to film without the blurry background for a bit now. It's getting quite dark here. So on your live stream this morning, you called me a pussy, and then you slagged off all the people you talk to and all the people I talk to. You slagged off like DP, AB, the girls, the lesbian cartel. Why would you do that? Like, I don't see why you would slag all of them off. But you've just alienated all of those people trying to be the moral high ground man because, oh, they hang around with me, they stand with me, and because you think I've done all these fucking bad things, which you're being fed from Toxic X and Daily Mail and the Sun articles, most of it's from there, yeah? You've even admitted today, or yesterday was it? No, yesterday, but you repeated it today. You said, if it's not true, I will apologise. You shouldn't be saying that unless you've seen, like, official documentation. And when I say official, I mean something that tells you there's no doubt whatsoever that it's true. And I guarantee you haven't seen that, because most of the stuff you're saying is not true. I know that for a fact. You haven't seen anything. If you have, why not show it? Why not post it anonymously in a troll group? Why not do that if you've seen this so-called evidence? If the people that matter, you said, if the people who need to know have seen it, why haven't other auditors who you are trying to turn against me, why don't you send it to them? Because surely that would change their mind, right? It's ridiculous, mate. It's actually ridiculous. So you've banged on this morning, slagging off all these different people, alienating yourself even more from them. I ask myself, what benefit are you getting from doing it? What benefit is he getting from doing it to me? Think about it. I don't really see a benefit at all. It's not what people subscribe to his channel for. He's not an expose this channel. He's a hotel investigator, auditor, right? Similar to what I do, we expose the truth that's out there, be it the illegal immigration, the government stuff, the police, all that stuff. We go out there, we film it, right? If you want to change your channel to be more of a, I don't even know what you call it, but where you go around and you basically try and find out stuff about people and then expose it, then change your channel. But at the minute, it's not going to be benefiting you to be doing it. So I'm thinking, why is he doing it for? Jealousy, control. He wants to be the best. He wants to be the #1 YouTuber that does what he's doing. So what a lot of people don't know about AY audits is I'm not the only person he's been bullying. Call it bullying because it's a form of bullying, right? You don't have to feel intimidated by a person to be bullied. Just consistent actions, right? Which are negative to you or whatever. Miss CP audits. I'm sure a lot of people got their opinion on Miss CP. She is a disabled girl who audits. He's been consistently online, bullying her online. Lots of different online panels, I've seen it. I've got loads of screenshots sent to me today showing that. I ask myself, why is he doing that to her? She's no threat to him in terms of channel size or numbers, right? Why would he do that? So this man, I've shown proof to you guys, the viewers, people that are probably agreeing with him, people that are agreeing with me. I've showed you the facts, I've showed you the link showing that he did, or he was under investigation at some point for threatening to kill 2 females, right? I showed you that. The rest of it could be hearsay, I could be lying. But I have seen evidence. Well, I've got the evidence what he's been doing to me, and I've got the evidence what he's done to CP. And why would a man do that to a girl like her who is disabled? At the end of the day, she probably does come across badly at times in videos. Maybe she makes a few mistakes and stuff. She certainly doesn't help herself, but she has a disability. So you just have to let it go, man, and just ignore it. Like, to bully her the way he has and say the stuff he has about her, I find it wrong. I don't agree with it. And let me tell you, Mr. AY, a lot of people who are maybe around you agree with that. You made a mistake there. So the reason I'm mentioning it in here is because for me, a person who does that to her, is doing it to me, for what reason? Is he the Mr. Moral High Ground, Mr. Perfect, and he wants to expose the bad? No. What's she done wrong to him? Nothing. He has a past. I've proved his past. So it's not that. If I had a past like that, I wouldn't be trying to expose another guy who I thought had a past the same, because I think, well, when they find out what I've done, they're gonna shift it back on me, and then I'm gonna look bad. Like, I've been around longer than him, right, in terms of the channel. So all the stuff about me, it's already out there. People have already seen it. They've made their own minds up. It is what it is, right? There's no credible source from any of it. It's the Sun and Daily Mail and an ex. Essentially, you've got an ex-girlfriend, the Sun and Daily Mail. Wow, like 3 really credible sources there, right? But the thing is, he's fairly new, and a lot of the stuff about him is not known. A lot of people watching this won't have seen that article about him, won't have heard about it, and unfortunately for you, AY, now they have. So by doing what you're doing to me, you're actually just exposing yourself more and more, because I would never do this to anybody. I would never have done a video like this for any other reason. In fact, I wasn't even going to do it. Even after seeing you in London, I wasn't going to do it. But you put out that live stream this morning. Clearly you were angry. Clearly you're triggered. You're a triggered man after me seeing you in London and then exposing where you do your live stream. Clearly you're triggered over that, because you did a live stream today and the first thing that you pretty much said is, I'm a pussy. And you spent 45 minutes of your live stream, or near enough, most of your live stream, banging on about me, right? And you said, oh, same time tomorrow, and I have no doubt tomorrow you'll be banging on about me again. How can a man with a channel with 100 odd K followers, subs, like you, spend so much of your time on another person that you don't like? Why would you? It makes no sense at all. It's very sad. Like, it's very, very sad. You can think what you like about me, but you're better just to move on from it. Like, your viewers don't want to watch it. It's causing a lot of shit between other, not shit, it's causing like a lot of people to maybe distance themselves from you, because they're like, what the hell is he doing? He's not Mr. Perfect. He's done this and this and this. And you look like a hypocrite. And that's not a good look, you know? Earlier you said on your live stream, I didn't watch all of it, but I got told to watch it for a reason. So on my way home today, I watched most of it. I needed to arm myself with the information to speak now, right? But on there, you said, I've never been to prison. He said, I've never been to prison before. I've never been arrested. Well, you got arrested the other week for breaching your CPO, you idiot. So that's a lie. But you said you've never been to prison, right? Now I know for a fact, 110%, that you have been to prison, HM Young Offenders Institution, Wetherby. I know that for a fact. So how dare you go onto your live stream and trying to be the moral high ground that, oh, I've never been to prison. You have. You've been at least once, right? Be it a very long time ago, but you've been. And you're trying to paint a picture that you're this Mr. Perfect guy, right? Or near enough. And that me and other people, but mostly me at the moment, are this bad wrong'un, as you call it. And it's just simply not true. And by you doing that, you're going to cause people like me to dig and dig and dig for information on you. And it won't take very long before we find out more about you. There is more in the pipeline. I have more information given to me, but at the moment, it's not 100% that it's the right person. So I wouldn't do that. But if you carry on the way you are, more and more people will just dig information on you and try and expose you. And then it doesn't help anybody. It really doesn't help anybody. You're going to try and basically cause more people to hate on me, and you'll probably succeed a bit. And then in retaliation, people are then going to hate on you. Who's the winner? Who's really going to come better off there? Nobody. Nobody. Both our channels will grow and the viewers will choose how they want to watch. You're not really going to affect anything other than yourself. So you were saying, you went live today and you said, you're going to give me half an hour. No, however much time. You said, we're live in Barking Recreational Ground, come down. You said on there to come down, aimed at me, right? Now, you're the pussy because you've basically gone live without pre-warning me. You gave me an hour to come down, right? Now, are you thick? Milton Keynes to Barking is more than an hour, right? And I didn't even know you were there. Even if I really wanted to like come and see you, how the hell would that happen? Are you stupid? No, you're not stupid. You're a very manipulative man and you know exactly what you're doing. What you're doing there is you're going live and saying, oh, look, come down, let's see if he shows up. I only live 2.5, 3 hours away from where he is. I haven't told him I'm here. Obviously, he's not going to show, but let's go live and make me look like a hard big man and like he's like a pussy, scared. Like, people aren't stupid. They're going to see through that. I see through that. I didn't even know you were live. I got sent your live about halfway through. I clicked on it, I was busy, I clicked off it, and then later on I've been told what was said and I've gone back on to watch it fully, right? If you wanted me to show up, why didn't you contact me prior to that and say, look, I'm going to be here where you've exposed I go live, Barking Recreational Ground. I'm going to go live at this time, come down and have your say on camera. And then it's down to me, right, to do that. And if I don't go, then you can insinuate why. You can say, oh, he's a pussy or he's scared or whatever. It's on me, right? But by doing it the way you've done it, it's flipping ridiculous. Because you know you're going to look the better guy because I'm not going to show up if I don't know you're there, am I? Like, how thick are you, mate? Really, well, you are quite thick from what you've been doing, but like, and that brings me on to why you're doing it, right? Do you really want to talk to me? Do you really want to hear my side of the slanderous shit that you've said? No. You want to film it for your channel. That's what you want to do. Do you have anything against me as a person and you're doing this for revenge? Like, people are saying, what have I done to you? What's happened for AY Audits to want to like say shit about you? No, nothing's happened, has it? You are doing it to better yourself. You're doing it to put down another YouTuber, a bigger other YouTuber who's doing similar content to you. So it's a similar topic, isn't it? Like immigration, the country as a whole, it's a similar topic, right? Probably a lot of your viewers watch my stuff and vice versa, right? So we're subconsciously in competition with each other kind of thing, right? You could look at it that way, yeah? You're doing it to better yourself. You're not doing it for any other reason than that, because you can't take the moral high ground from your past. You've got a history with females. And you're saying that I've gone into gyms and filmed females. Like, a guy that threatens to kill 2 females is probably going to be a guy who was in a domestic situation with 1 or 2 of them or both, right? And whatever's happened, and then you threaten to kill them, right? It doesn't just happen, a random girl in the street, you threaten to kill them, right? Obviously, they were known to you, and the chances are it was a domestic situation. I'm not going to say any more than that because it may not be true, but you were under investigation for that, and that will stem from that kind of situation. It wouldn't just happen to a random person walking past, right? So why else would you do it? Have we fallen out in the past? No. Have I done anything against you? No. Reason you're doing it is to better yourself. You want to film you asking me questions that you think I either won't be able to answer or that I find difficult to answer, or that I'll just look squirmish and clearly, oh, he's lying, look, he's lying, he can't answer the question. You want to do that on camera to put on your channel, mostly for your benefit. That's what you want to do. And you think doing that will make people not watch me, and then you'll be the big man and you'll be the guy that everyone wants to watch. That's exactly why you want to do that. Because I guarantee you, if I invite you to come and meet me off camera, neither one of us have a camera, neither one of us have a mic, we meet up and have a chat, I guarantee you, you won't do it, right? If you want to chat to me off camera, no mic, no camera, nothing, and you want to ask questions and hear my side of the story, I invite you to do that. I'll do that to anybody. I've done that with DP Audits. I've done that to anybody that wants to know stuff about me or my past. I've done that, right? I'm an open guy. You want to film it for your channel. That's exactly what you want to do, which is why you went live today. What do you think I'm going to do? Walk into the park while you're live? Like, it's a bit of a stupid idea, right? It's not great. You have a big vantage point on that, don't you? Think about it, right? It's not a very inviting invite, you know? even if I'd have known you were there and I was local, would I have gone with you live? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. If you weren't live and you weren't filming, yeah, of course I would. I'd have it out with you, 100%. Then you turn the camera to the bench and you say, oh, I'm on my own, look, there's nobody here at the bench, it's just me, basically saying, well, you're scared of coming just to meet me on my own. But then you go on later in the video, like the liar that you are, and say, there are other people that I know who are in this park, and if anything happened or more than one person showed up, they'll come and help, right? So basically, you took a few people to your park today, and you went live and you said, look, if anybody else shows up, I need a few people to help. I don't blame you for doing that, because your location of where you were live was exposed. If I was going to go live right now and show people where I am, Milton Keynes, not sure what it's called, but anyway, I'd be a bit wary myself, because I think, well, I've got a lot of enemies with the channel I do. I've probably made a lot of enemies back in the auditing days, right? Who knows who may show up? It's a fair point, but don't turn around on the camera and say, I'm here on my own, I'm no threat, come down, because obviously that wasn't true, was it? You had people around. If I would have turned up, right, on my own, let's say I turned up, right, and I get an advantage on you, I come behind you, I turn your camera off, I can guarantee you those people you're with would have came over and jumped in, right? Now, I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a violent guy. I certainly wouldn't do that. But let's just say I did that. You've got people there. So you say, oh, he's got a security officer, me, my Tay or Fred. For a reason. It makes the content better. And it's protection against the flipping crazy ass people, a lot of the lefties, who are trying to attack. That's it. I can afford it. Why the hell not? It makes the content better. Fred, awesome guy. Fred makes the content 10 times better. Whether or not he has to kick anybody or not, he makes it awesome. Tay, amazing guy. Really enjoyed London with Tay. If you're watching, Tay, thanks, mate. Really, really good guy. Really informative. And he made the production quality of the video better. Therefore, worth the money and worth the time. You, in your situation, you could benefit from doing it as well. Nobody's going to look down on you and say, oh, he's a pussy for getting a security guard. No. You're making the content better. You're making it more interesting for the viewer. And that's what it's about. Making the content more interesting with things like that. Not by putting others down. Turn the camera around, guys, because the selfie camera is not really good enough quality for the darkness we're in now. It's pretty damn dark. So I'm not going to spend long now talking. I've probably missed a few important points, which is going to probably piss me off. But so earlier on your stream, you were saying I've blackmailed women. I've filmed women in gyms covertly, and then blackmailed them. That is 100% a slanderous comment. I've never blackmailed or threatened any person, any female in my life. There's no conviction of that. There's no arrest of that. There's no nothing of that. And that comment you made is on your live stream. I have saved it. And if I wanted to take it further, like defamation, I could. Because I can prove 110% that I've never blackmailed, threatened anybody or nothing, right? Or your story about that changes every time. But we'll just go with that one for now. No convictions on that. That's a slanderous comment. And if you think about it, like, that comment makes no sense. I mean, the person would be a flipping weirdo to do that, but I don't see an offence there. I don't see an offence. But I've heard all sorts of versions of that story, so we'll stick with that one for now. But it makes no sense. So you're saying it on your stream, but you're making yourself sound a little bit simple. It would be like me saying to somebody that you've been arrested for filming a police station. Well, it's actually not a crime. So how would that work, you know? Mr. Tony works in a landscaping business, don't you? Landscape and cleaning business, don't you? Yeah? With your assistant, who's called Simon. Yeah? Am I correct, Tony? I've actually found the company you work at. And I'm not gonna share that. That's not the kind of guy that I am. I know you would. I'm not going to share that company, but you work for a landscape and cleaning company, and I'm going to put some of the reviews about you on there from that company, right? And those reviews paint a picture very much similar to the man that we all see before us now. A man who, for no reason other than for his own clout, as you call it, bullies and slanders somebody every time they get a chance to on their live videos. They try and incite a crowd. I've heard you many times, Mr. Tony, saying DJ E-Media's this or that, and then the people around have been like, oh, if he comes here, it's not going to end very well for him, right? That is inciting violence onto a person with statements that you don't know to be true. You're just taking people's word on it, really, if you think about it. If you guys watching think about it. So a guy that does that, you bully CP, because I've seen the screenshots of that, and if anybody watching looks hard enough, you'll find it as well. I'm not going to post any of that because I don't want to involve her into it. She already has a lot of stress, I think, going on at the moment. But that's what he's been doing. And a man who, okay, we don't have proof you were convicted, but you definitely were under investigation. There was a manhunt for you for threatening to kill 2 females, right? So for me, and I'm just saying my opinion, right? This is just my opinion. For me, that's a person who is a controlling bully type of person. Because there's a lot of circumstantial things there which as a whole paint that picture, right? And all the things I've said are facts. The article is a fact. Why haven't you had it delisted by Google? You can do that, but certain times you can't if it's still in the public interest. Google must feel that it's in the public interest to have it still there, right? So you are nothing but a bully, and you've exposed yourself as a bully, and a lot of people are contacting me calling you a bully. Genuinely, I'm not lying about that, they are. It's not a good look, and I think the community that we're in is a small community. It's a very niche community, and at the moment we all need to really be working together, and I can't see that's ever going to happen with you, but we all need to be working together, certainly not against each other. And what you're doing, you're just driving in like wedges between people who support the same thing, you know? And I heard you mention Paul Thorpe earlier, something about trying to keep Paul Thorpe on side. I'm not manipulative like you. I don't think that deeply into stuff, mate. If I want to send him a £50 super chat because of the shit he's been through and what he believes in and supports, I will. I do it to loads of people. I send money on there to loads of different channels. He deserves it. He probably doesn't need it. He's probably a rich man, but it's a show of support, isn't it? And if I can afford it, why not? Maybe you're just jealous I didn't give you one, right? Yeah. We all need to stick together. And I could half understand it if this slanderous stuff you're saying was something really, really like bad. But it's not. Like, you're coming out with this crazy flipping story about a gym, and it's like, one, it isn't true. Get over it, move on. Threatening to kill 2 women, in my opinion, is far worse than what you're saying I've apparently done. In my opinion, it's worse. You know? Because for somebody to be in fear for their life, and the police to take it that serious that they have to issue a public advertisement for a manhunt on you. And not only 1 woman, you could say 1 woman is scorned. 2 people, right? In my opinion, that's worse. I'll let the viewer be the judge of that. But I think that's worse than anything you were trying to say I've done. What are you trying to say that I've done? Gone in the gym and film flipping people in the gym. Well, that hasn't happened. But come on, man, like, you can't take the moral high ground when you've done that, can you? I turn the camera around. I feel like boring when I'm not filming myself, but the darkness is coming in quick now. Look. Oh man. So I keep forgetting things. The other thing that he touched on, and I know you're watching, the other thing that you touched on, right? You're going to do me for slander. You're going to do me for slander for what I said in London when you confronted me or tried to confront me on your live, and I said to you, you were, forget how I worded it, but basically I said you got done, or you had a manhunt for threatening to kill 2 females, right? How stupid are you? You said you spoke to your lawyer today. You say it like you already have a lawyer, your lawyer. Why would you have a lawyer? I guarantee you don't already have a lawyer. But anyway, so you spoke to your lawyer, and apparently that comment is slander because it's not true, right? But that article from the Epping Guardian or whatever it's called, that article is there in the public domain for all to see. So how can you take me to court for slander when all I'm doing is repeating what the article says? If you're going to take anybody to court for slander, you need to take that media outlet to court for slander, because if it isn't true and that never happened at all, then that media article is causing people like me to then repeat it, right? So you take them to court, not me. But you're not that clever, you're thick. Clearly thick. All that power's gone to your head and you're not thinking clearly, Mr. Tony. You can't take me to court for slander, and I invite you, if you think you can and you're being serious, I guarantee you're not being serious. You're saying it because you're trying to say that I can't take you to court for what you've said because it's true. That's what you're saying, right? But you are now going to take action on me for what I've said. So you look like the person that you're like, well, he's not denying it. Me. Like you're saying to people, he's not denying it. He's not taking any legal action. But he's saying stuff about me. I'll take him to court for slander. So it makes the people watching believe that what you're saying about me is true and what I'm saying about you is false. But I guarantee you, you're not going to take me to court for slander. I invite you to take me to court for slander. Please do it. If you want to email me, I'll send you all the details you need to get the claim started, like name, address, date of birth. Pretty much that's what you'll need. Yeah. I guarantee I will put money on it. You're not going to be doing that, because all I did is repeat what the article says, right? But you're manipulating the situation. You're genuinely not believing in your head that you're going to take me to court for slander. I know that. The viewers probably know that. A lot of your viewers maybe won't know that, they'd have fell for it, but a lot will know. So a really important thing that I forgot to mention is, I feel my brain's gone a bit foggy today. I do apologise if I'm rambling on a little bit and getting to the points now and then. What you've done, you've actually manipulated. You're trying to manipulate and be a narcissist to the people who are around you, your friends or people that support your channel. Why are you doing that, or how? Let me explain, right? So when somebody's not happy with, or they're jealous of like a situation, so you want everyone to hate me, right? Or for whatever reason you're doing it, but you want people to turn on me, basically, right? And you can see that a lot of people who are quite respected in the YouTube community in our little niche like me. So people like, well, no, I won't name names. I won't name channels, but people who I'm quite close to, and some people very good friends who have channels, you today have really pissed a lot of them off by slagging them off, or basically saying, well, get fucked. If you're going to stand by him, get fucked, right? they're really annoyed because you've caused them drama, right? So I look at that like a good example that you can probably relate to, because you can probably remember many times this has happened in your life, right? When you got a girlfriend or a partner, but let's say I'm a guy, so when you got a girlfriend, right? And let's say you get jealous over somebody they're talking to. So let's say I've got a missus and I don't want her talking to Mr. Johnny over there, right? I'm a jealous guy and I'm thinking, I'm not comfortable with that, right? A normal person wouldn't get jealous over it, but let's say a normal person will talk to your partner about it and go, look, I don't think that's suitable for whatever reason, I'm a bit jealous over that, right, cool. But what a narcissist will do, what a manipulative person will do, what a woman controller will do, like you, is they will cause a massive argument over it, and the girl might cry or get upset. Why will they do that? Well, the reason they do that is so that the female, or the person, but in this instance the female is like, oh, fuck this shit. Like, I don't need the drama. Fine, I won't talk to him. I just won't talk to the guy. Because they don't want the argument, they don't want the drama, they don't want the kick-off, they don't want the consequences of whatever that argument may be. In your instance, possibly what the media outlet said you did, right? Maybe the girls don't want that, right? So they'll be like, fine. And what you're doing here is today, you've tried to alienate all the people that you speak to that speak to me, or you think speak to me, because you want them to turn on me, and you're causing them drama by causing a massive deal about it. You're hoping that those people will go like, oh, fuck it, DJE Media, Dan, I can't speak to you anymore, mate. It's just causing me too much shit, you know? That's what you're hoping will happen. But that's very manipulative, and you know exactly what you're doing. You're not helping yourself. You're really not helping yourself. You're saying that I've apparently, what did you say? Something about I've done it. I'm stupid. I've opened myself up. You've said, right? I really haven't. You have, by targeting me for so long now, and now it's come to a head that I found out stuff about you, and I'm going to continue to expose it more and more if you continue. That's it. I don't want to speak about you ever again. I didn't want to speak about you today. I could have a very long time ago. I haven't. I've left it and focused on my own channel, which is doing very well. I don't need to slag other people off to sort of gain popularity or whatever. That shadow's a little bit annoying on my face there. Let me move a little bit. It's like a weird shape look. It looks like I've got a weird colour on my face. I'll go over here. I don't need to do that. You don't either, but you clearly are doing that. You clearly are. So guys, I do apologise for the bit of a long rant here, and I didn't want to go into some of the details I have, especially about things like ex-girlfriends or that kind of thing, right? Or dating people you date. I don't want to go into that, but it's relevant, and I've had to say it. I've had to address some of the allegations. A lot of the allegations aren't true. People say, oh, you filmed Nicola Bulley, the dead body, blah, blah, blah. Well, do you know what? Yeah, back then, I did film the police working. And you could word it as that. You could word it as that, because the police did find her that day. Bless her. And I was far away, and I filmed the police going in and doing their thing. But you couldn't flip and see a dead body. You couldn't see anything. But people always say that, oh, he's the same guy that filmed the body. But wait a minute, Channel 4 filmed exactly the same thing and published it. They didn't get the scrutiny I got for it, you know? But yeah, it was a mistake. That was a mistake. The mistake was publishing the video. We all film things and then we look back and go, do you know what? Shouldn't have filmed that. I won't publish it. And you don't think about it again, you know? My YouTube channel was brand new. I wanted to get the content out there for people. I wanted to expose whatever the investigation had found. In hindsight, it was a mistake. live and learn, don't you? I wouldn't do that again, but it's happened. So yeah, when you're saying things like that, yeah, that did happen. It doesn't make me a bad guy. I just made a stupid mistake, you know. ADHD causes people to be impulsive, and unfortunately for me, many things I've done have been very impulsive in the past, and I try and learn from them, but sometimes they happen. And there we go. But in terms of the other allegations, they are categorically not true. There may be versions of different things that have happened. Certainly not any versions that you've put out or that people like yourself are putting out there. And the reason I haven't defended any of it, a lot of people have asked me, why haven't you put a video out sooner, or why haven't you explained, right? Well, I don't need to. It doesn't affect my personal life. It doesn't affect my channel, not really. It certainly doesn't affect when I'm out and about filming. I've never had anybody come up to me in person when I'm filming and have anything bad to say, ever. Ever. That's the first time it's happened at the protest, when he did that on his live stream. Never had it. So I've not felt the need to explain anything. Why would I explain anything when I don't need to, you know? How about you, Tony? How about you explain the article that I've put up? Why don't you explain why the police were looking for you over threats to kill 2 females? Yeah? I've explained my shit. You explain yours. Quite good lighting there. Yeah, I've explained somewhat, yeah? Why don't you explain your side of the story? Why did you threaten to kill 2 females? Why did you go to prison in Wetherby? It's on you now to explain that. And if you don't, you're going to look like a hypocrite. You need to explain it. Yeah? I don't need to explain any more than I have. Going in gyms, taking photos of people. Come on, mate. Come on, really? Do you know how stupid it sounds? Sorry guys, I'm trying to find my way back to where I'm going. Not been here before. Do you know how stupid that sounds? It wouldn't even be a crime. You need to at least think how it would be a crime. It's not a crime. So how does that make any sense? My point is, if you think there's something that people don't know about me, go and find out for sure first. Get the evidence first, and then put it out there. You're going around slandering somebody, and half of the shit you're saying is not true. It's literally not true. And it's been so far from the truth that I've just felt no need to explain it. Or thought, flipping out, it's so pathetic. I can't even be arsed with it, man. Because anybody that actually knows me and meets me, I explain my side of things, and they're like, okay, makes sense, cool. And they make their own decision on whether they want to know me or not after that. Do you not think, does the viewer, does my followers, my subs, do you not think that the people who I'm close to, right, the people who I hang out with on videos, or people who know me in real life, right, on a personal level, do you not think that I know they're going to come across a lot of these slanderous articles or videos like your videos, right? Do you not think I think that? Do you not think I know that? I do. So what I do when I meet somebody is I say, look, this is what's being said. This is the truth. I've got a few things I can kind of show for evidence, which backs up what I've said. People who I trust, I show that, and they make their own decision. So people in your live stream today are saying, oh, well, why did these people still hang out with him or talk to him? Well, guess what? Obviously, I speak to them and I've showed them stuff. That's why. Or a lot of them have just said to me, we don't even need to see it. We don't care. It's pathetic. We like you for you. We like you how you've treated us, now. day-to-day life, not flipping whenever these things are meant to have happened, and we don't care, and that's it. So I'm gonna finish it there. I feel like I've ranted on a bit longer than I wanted to here. I had it all fresh in my head earlier, and you know, as the day goes on, it just becomes a little bit of a blur. I'm very good at shutting things out, which is good, but sometimes bad, because I can't remember them when I want to remember them, because they're gone out of my head. I'm quite good at that. You, Tony, need to explain your shit, explain the article. There is another article. I can't remember what it is you did, or what it is the police were looking for you for, but they put another one out saying manhunt on you. I can't remember. I'm gonna find it, and I'm gonna put it on the screen at the end of the video. You need to explain it. If you're gonna pull me on what you have, you need to explain it. I won't be doing another video like this. I will not be explaining any further anything to anybody. And the only reason I have done this one is because today you've gone live and you've pissed off a lot of people for no reason. Literally, the invite is there. Come and meet me, off camera, off mic, no one with you. Or if you want to bring one person with you, I'll bring one person with me. We'll meet up. When we both know it's safe, we'll be on our own and we'll have a chat. If you want to do that, fine, we'll do that. We're not going to do it in the middle of your estate where you live. And don't try and say that address is not where you live. It 110% is where you live. I know that for a fact. I won't say how I know that, but I know that. We'll meet up somewhere safe, somewhere mutual. We'll have a chat. I'll explain anything you want to know. And I guarantee that you won't. I guarantee you might go live and say, yeah, I will. Let's see if he turns up. But I guarantee that you'll try and record it and put it on your channel, because that's what you want to do, is you want to put it on your channel. Thanks for listening, everybody. Sorry that this has had to have been said. I hope it explains a few things to people. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of emails now saying you didn't need to do that. And Tony, I'm sorry. I am sorry. You're going to get a lot of shit for this. You should have seen this coming. If you're going to do what you've done to somebody, right, you have to expect retaliation. And the retaliation will not stop if you continue to bully, slander, whatever you want to call it. If you continue, it will continue here.